So what are my predictions for the first game against Tunisia on Sunday? Because of the very few friendlies our team has been able to play and the fact that the coach Magudo has experimented in his lineups in both friendlies, especially against Portugal and Ghana. So it's very hard to predict what the starting lineup of the team would be like over the game on Sunday against Tunisia. But we know for a fact Chiamaka Onadozie will start, that's for sure. We know that Ashley Plumter will definitely start. I would say she's our best defender, even though she hasn't played some of the non-tournament games. But the thing is, remember in the World Cup, Randy Waldron played Plumter as a right back, or was he left back? She played as fullback. So I think she may have to play as fullback again in this tournament, just because our fullback's not the strongest. And then we'll see Alozie also play as fullback. So Alozie and Plumter as fullbacks, and then we'll see Osinachi Ohale and Tosi Demehi continue in centre-back as the centre-back pairing. I think Abiodun has to start. Very, very good player playing America, and Uchebo will definitely start. So those be my midfield anchor, although you're not sure how it would end up being patched together. I would say the cam would either be Jennifer Echegini or Tony Payne. Tony Payne also started one of the friendlies as a right winger, so it's hard to see. But I think one of them will play as a cam. And then we'll definitely see the captain, Rashidat Ajibade, start as one of the wingers, or maybe even as the cam. And I hope, rather than expect, that Risola Babajide also gets to start in one of the wing positions. And then striker, of course, we have Azizat Oshoala, but when you look at our last few tournaments, Ifeoma Onumonu has been given the nod in quite a lot of games to start for the national team. I think she brings a bit more presence with her physique, and also she's just a better link-up player. We have to admit that Oshoala is at the twilight of her career. Can we say that? So I would not be surprised if we see Onumonu start, but also there's a world where Oshoala will end up starting the game. So that's my starting XI for the game. As for the Tunisians, their recent games, as I said, recently they lost to Morocco 3-1 in a friendly in April. In February, they played games against Kenya at home and away. Away against Kenya, they drew 0-0 to Kenya, and then they lost 1-0 at home to Kenya in February. After that, you have to go all the way back to July to see their last set of games. Tunisia beat Botswana 1-0, so that could be interesting because considering both teams are in our group. But prior to that, they lost 5-0 to Tanzania away. So that's just to give you an idea of Tunisia's level. That aside, they do have a few players to be aware about because we must know about our opponents. They've got a forward called Mariam Houij, Houij, prolific striker for the Tunisian national team. She's got 15 goals in 45 caps. And then she also clinched the Turkish league title with ALG Spor a few years ago and is now shining in her Saudi club, Abba, with 16 goals in 11 matches. They've also got a player called Gada Ayadi, forward/attacking midfielder who plays for Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia's women's team. She scored +5 goals in 10+ appearances. Regular Tunisian national team starter, having played in friendlies against all their various opponents. They've got a left back called Samia Aouni, strong defender and part of the dominant Al Nassr team in the Saudi league. Remember, Plumter also plays in the Saudi league, but Al Nassr are the current champions, I believe. Also, Samia Aouni was named in the WAFCON group stage best XI at the last AFCON. So it shows her defensive and offensive value. And then finally, they've got a striker called Hannah Hamdi, dual German-Tunisian footballer. She has scored 1 goal in just 2 senior caps, but she's showing her emerging potential and is one for us to watch in the game on Sunday. Predictions for the game, because we're not quite settled yet and the team gets better as the tournament goes on, I expect Nigeria to win this game comfortably. I'll say 3-0. I don't want to, in terms of who scores, Ajibade, if she's going to be top goal scorer, she needs to get firing. So I'll say Ajibade gets at least 2 goals, and then I think either an Onumonu or an Ajibade or a Babajide will join in with the 3rd goal in this game. So my prediction is 3-0 to Nigeria, and we're very excited to watch the game on Sunday.